Welcome back to another baseball game from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of the game that you're about to see. And this game is codenamed Batted Ball Baseball, but I'm looking for a better name for the game, but just demoing the application. So I've gone ahead and created sort of a web app that you can use with the game. Basically, it does all of the dice rolling for you. So you're still going to need to keep track of the game somehow with a score sheet like this, but and it doesn't keep score or doesn't keep track of anything on the application itself, but it does do all of the rolls. So it replaces, let's see if I can get the charts here. I didn't plan to do that, but I'll show you what it replaces. It does not replace this chart yet. So this is your extra play, sacrifice bunting, bunting for hits, hit and run. But it replaces this chart completely, which is basically finding the first roll, which is the pitch quality and the batter reaction. And then you look at this play result matrix and come up with the type of hit, batted ball, or the type of play that it is. Once you get there, then you find out who the player is, whether it's a range or an error play, and then what the degree of difficulty is, which is the number that you see here in the parentheses. So it's a range with a degree of difficulty of 7, which since the last time I showed this game off, I've upped and changed some of these values here to better reflect the difficulties based on the scale that we have. So it kind of mixed and matched that. You can see here, like if it's a pop-up to the number 1 zone, which is here on the infield, it can be the third baseman or the first baseman. This roll is built into the application so that it does the roll for you, and then it actually shows you, is it the third or the first baseman? So you'll see it. You can see here that it gives a home run chance, strikeout. You can see it's a hard fly ball to zone 11, which is here. And then it's the left fielder, and you're checking his E7. So hard fly ball, that's a big pop-up to zone 11, which I guess you can see it like that. You can see the hard fly ball to zone 11. A 1 to 5 is a left fielder, 6 to 10 is a center fielder. So we've done that roll, and it's the left fielder, E7. So you see that that's replicated in the application. There might be some errors as we run through. I have seen, as I've just kind of clicked through, a couple of different errors. If we need an extra D20 roll, we can do that. If we need an extra D10 roll, we can do that as well. And then these are just kind of reminders. They're basically replacing this sheet here. The only thing I don't have on here is gap hits, so I'll have to add right there. But gap hits will be on there occasionally if you do an outfield range check and it doesn't pass the range check. So if it's a hit to zones 15 to 19, which is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and the fielder can't get there because of his range, then you have to check the gap hits chart, and then it's either single, double with an option for a triple, or a triple outright, depending on the D20 plus the base runner's speed. So, and then you just click on these, and it gives a little pop-up. I mean, obviously I don't need that one, but we have our range checks here. So you can see to the different outfield zones, what's the range target, and then if it's failed, what do you do? What does it turn into? Error checks, home run checks, if you need to do that, extra bases, taking extra bases. So you can see that this formula here is the same as the formula here for taking extra bases. You get all these different options, and then the extra base targets, all of that has been reproduced into the application. So stealing, if you want to steal, again, a reminder about what's the formula for that, and then any base running modifiers. So with 2 outs, the runners are running on contact, they get a +2 if the ball's hit in front of the runner or behind the runner or directly at an outfielder, etc. The one that I've taken off of that is the soft grounder, line drive, or fly ball because it was just kind of messing things up. But if you field the ball in the gaps, anywhere from 15 to 19 gaps of the warning track, then you give them a +2, and then any throws from left field are going to be a -1. So that's how we play. We're going to be doing the innings here. We'll keep score here between the home and the away team. It's actually should be like this. So Arizona at LA. This is from 2024. And let's just refresh this just to get a nice blank screen. And then I can show you how it works from when you open the application. So I filled in everybody's ratings here. Again, the ratings look like this at the moment. So it's like a rating sheet. So basically just a spreadsheet with all of the players. This section here is going to go away. That shouldn't be there. That should be hidden. But you're going to have their names, their team, and then a lot of baseline stats here. You have a lot of StatCast level stats here, or advanced stats. And then you have over here their final pitching ratings. So minus for a pitcher is bad. So these guys are at the bottom, sort of the bottom of the LA Angels rotation here. And then you get to game started. This is going to be your top relievers here. And so you can see as you move down, it's a bit of a smorgasbord with LA, the Angels at least. And then you get to their bottom relievers here, which, you get some -5s and stuff like that in there. That's -5 is the worst you can be for a pitcher. +5 is the best you can be. But on the stuff location and hold, 10 is the max and 1 is the minimum. So you get a couple of 1s on here for stuff. They just didn't perform, pitcher hold and stuff like that. So, but as you get down to, let's say, a Gavin Stone or Tyler Glasnow, a Stone is going to be a 2. Again, 5 is the top for a pitcher. So above average, and he is going to have 6 stuff, 5 location, and 3 on his hold. So 3 on the hold is on the lower end. The other stuff is in the middle. And for Arizona, we have Brandon Pfaadt. He is a +2 on his pitching. He's sort of their number one starter in terms of innings pitched 182 innings, 32 starts. He was 11-10. Stuff is a 5, location is 6, and his hold is a 4. So one of the best on the team as far as hold is concerned. Mantiply had better stuff, and Justin Martinez, Ryan Thompson. So some of their relievers, Seawald, have really good stuff. Here's a 5. That's AJ Puck. Puck in 30 games pitched 27 1/3 innings, 1.32 ERA. So he's the top level pitcher, 5, 7, 7, and 4. So excellent season for AJ Puck, and you can kind of begin to read those like the Matrix a little bit, and you can say, oh, wow, that he was really solid. And for the batters, you can see here, LA starts down here at the bottom and then goes over to the next page. You can see most of their players. They're all sorted out by their positions, and then they're sorted out by plate appearances, not necessarily plate appearances at that position, just plate appearances overall. So you get the players basically who played the most at each position as you go upward. Let's do the other page because it's easier to see. I don't have the DHs on here. Somehow they got whacked off because I was doing the position, so I have to go back and make sure that I include those because I think I lopped them off with the pitchers. But let's look at Will Smith here in the middle. 128 games played, 544 plate appearances, 118 hits, 20 homers, 75 RBIs, and batted .248. He had a .760 OPS, 109 weighted runs created plus. So you get a few sort of advanced stats here. I hid a bunch of them just so that I could give you the stats on the stat sheet that you would be using. But I did hide things like ISO, and we're using those stats to figure out the hitting, but I just hid them from the final sort of stat sheet. So Will Smith, hopefully this battery will make it. I don't think I'm doing anything too crazy. Will Smith is a 0 batter, so perfectly average. 0 is going to be average, +3 is the best you can be, -3 is the worst that you can be. You see several -3s on here. And he's a 3 for his power, so that scale is 3 to -3. Every other scale is 1 to 10. So 3 on his power is a little under average on power. 9 is going to be his error rating. 3 is his range rating. 4 is his catcher arm rating. 3 is his speed. Stolen bases 4, and extra bases is 6. And then on the extra bases, we combine the speed and the extra base. So the speed rating is the same one that I use for on-base baseball. It's an old Bill James rating that takes into account all kinds of things like stealing bases, stuff like that. But it's a 1 to 10 rating that basically shows how fast is this batter based off of speed plays on the base paths. So that's an explanation of everything when you hear this number here is going to be the most important number every time. That's their hitting rating, and then this is their pitching rating. That's going to be figured in every single roll. That's what this is about right here. So both of our pitchers are +2, so we're just going to leave that, and then we'll have to change it for every single hitter. A little bit of a pain in the neck, but this is going to, trust me, it's going to help keep you in the game and slow you down just a little bit, because this is going to speed up gameplay quite a bit once we get started. And then once you, let's say our first hitter here is Corbin Carroll. He's a +1, and then now you're ready to simply roll the dice. And then in the background on the application, it does everything for you. It figures out what is the zone it was hit to. If there's any sort of split rolls in the zone, it's going to do those rolls for you. It's going to spit out what is the final result. If you want to get into the weeds and you want to play everything, then you should just use this, because this is going to come with the game too if you want to roll everything. It's going to take about an hour to play, a regulation 9-inning game. This is going to cut it down to about a half hour. So it takes away actually it's going to take away every roll now. Before it might even be faster, because before it was taking away a lot of rolls, and then I still had to roll for the D10 and all that kind of stuff. So I've kind of kept some dice over here to the side just in case I needed them. But I won't need them now because I have a D10 and I have a D20. So I can do that right here on the application now. I just need to keep track of what's happening in the game, and I need to keep track of the scoring. So let's get into this one. Trying to decide what's the best place to put this. Might be better just to have it right here. I don't think you're getting too much glare off of it. Getting some. It's the first time I'm using the application online. These are just my my rosters and stuff over here to keep track of everything. So hopefully that'll be okay. I'm getting a little shadow right here. So we're going to go and play, and you'll see the results pop up. We're going to keep track of everything here. I'm just going to put this where it needs to go, just so that I can remember, and then we'll have to do the D20s and the D10s to do the checks for ranges and for errors. I'm going to take it a little bit slowly this first inning, but after that, I have a lot of these things in my head, and I have some kind of markers so that if it's below this threshold, there's really no need to check for an error, because it's not going to happen. And again, you can see what those things are. Routine with no runners on base. 19 is our target. It has to be above that to be an error. And I'll show you because you have to do errors and range checks on every play, but it's not a laborious process. And once you get down, what are the thresholds? If it's a 20, you definitely need to check. If it's 15 to 20, you should probably check. If it's lower than 15, you probably don't need to check. You can look through here. There's a couple of low-range people, Eugenio Suarez, and surprisingly, Corbin Carroll in center field is a low-range player. You have Smith behind the plate. He's not going to come up very much. And you have Pajes in center field who is going to come up quite a bit. And so there might be some hits drop out here in the outfield in zones 11 to 13 or 15 to 16 or even 18. That's where you're going to check Pages with his range. The game is meant to be very kinetic. It moves logically from pitching to fielding to the final result. And so hopefully you'll feel the flow of that as you play. If you play with the cards and dice, you'll feel it a lot more. You'll kind of get the feeling and the flow of the game. This is going to be a little bit more about saving time and things like that, but I just did want to show it off because it's going to be a major part of the game. It's going to help you speed up the game quite a bit. All right, so let's get started with this one. Top of the first, it's going to be Arizona sending up Carroll, Marte, and Jock Peterson to the plate. I did put in their handedness because that's going to come up. You're going to see some pull, oppo, and center results. So pull, like a home run chance, and it's pulled. So for Peterson, that's to right field. For Marte, that'd be to right field too because he's facing a righty. For Walker, it's going to be to left field. So it's to his pull side or pull field. You'll see that a couple of times just to sort of make that a little bit more realistic. And those numbers are on the back end in the computer, in the software, in the application. Those numbers are sort of graded out so that players pull the ball 40% of the time, center field 30%, right field or opposite field 30% or something like that, 50 40. I don't know I don't remember what the actual percentages were, but basically it rolls a D10 and then it checks to see was it pull, center field, or oppo. Pulling the ball has the most, center field has the second most, opposite field has the third most. So it kind of works like that. That's how generally most batters work in Major League Baseball history. So let's go with this. And we have a 1 for our hitter. We're already set up, and we got a 2. So for Gavin Stone, he'll face off against Carroll, a left-handed hitter playing in center field. So basically we just roll. And right off the bat, we have a home run chance to center. And the way that we check for home runs, if you need a reminder, you can see here, D20 plus his power, and his power is just a 2. If it's greater than the HRT, which on a home run chance is 18, then it's a home run. If it fails, then it's a double. So we have a drive to center field. We're going to roll our D20. It's a 9. 9 plus 2 is 11, which comes short of our 18 threshold. That means that it's going to be a double to center field for Corbin Carroll. And he's on at second base with nobody out. And that'll bring up Ketel Marte to the plate. He is a 2 hitter. We get a walk if the pitcher's location is greater than 4. It's a hard grounder. His location is a 5. So we have a hard grounder here, and what we need to do is roll our D20 now to find the result. So hard grounder to zone 20 is going to be a foul ball. So if you hit a ground ball, instead of doing these sort of 15 to 19 zones out here, 15 to 19 and 20 go down here. And so if it's a ground ball, you're in foul territory. And so that's simply a re-roll. So now we get a strikeout. If the stuff is less than 5, then you have to change it to a routine grounder, but his stuff is a 6. So that's going to be a strikeout. That'll be 1 down in the inning for Gavin Stone. Another +2 hitter. So you can see they've loaded up the top of their lineup with 1s and 2s, and you get a lot of negative numbers and zeros as you go down the lineup. So kind of shows you lineup construction and how different players have had good seasons. Kind of cool actually to see. So here we get a single to left field. That's zone 10. And then we're checking an error on the left fielder. So we need to roll our D20. A 9 plus 9 is 18. And with runners on base, we do 18 minus the error value of the left fielder, and his error value is a 6. That's Miguel Vargas in left field. So 18 minus 6 is a 12, and so that's definitely below our threshold here of routine play, runners on base. You can see if there's a ground ball and the batter's speed is 7+, that kind of speeds up the player a little bit. So especially on ground balls, that's going to speed you up just a little bit. So the threshold is a little bit lower and a better chance for an error. But as it is, we have a base hit to left field. That's going to move up our runner one base. We'll just mark that as a base hit to left as Peterson goes the other way with it down the line over the third baseman, but in front of the left fielder. The left fielder passes our error check, so there's no error on the left fielder as he comes to pick up the ball. Now we need to decide on our base runner. So our left fielder, his arm is an 8. And when we look at the extra base, we see D20 plus the outfielder arm. So this is an unknown, but we know this is an 8. Minus the base runner's speed, extra base, and any modifiers. So his speed is 9, his extra base is 19, and any modifiers, there's not 2 outs. The ball is hit in front of the runner, so that's going to be -1. Not hit directly to an outfielder, not in the gap, but there is from left. So we're going to have a -2. So 19 minus 2 is 17. So right off the bat, we're starting with 8 minus 17, which puts it at a -9. And then he's got to get, going from second to home, they have to get to +9. So basically, what do they have to roll? They have to roll a 19 or a 20 in order to get him at the plate because Carroll's so fast. So that's pretty good odds for me. And we're going to go ahead and send him home on the single to left field. So a 19 or 20, he's going to be out. It's a 2. He's going to be safe at the plate. And if we just go ahead and complete that by doing the math, 2 plus 8 is 10. Minus 17, 10 minus 17 is -7, which is clearly less than 9. So that's going to be an RBI single to left field for Peterson as he drives in the run. So you can see it's quite logical and kinetic and maybe feels a little bit complicated, but if I had rolled a 2, I would know that he's going to be safe off the bat. If this guy is a 19 to start out with, he's going to be safe most of the time. Even with the +10 arm out there, he's just fast, and that's just how it is. All right, Walker is up to the plate. He is a +1 batter, so we change him. We don't change the pitcher, right, because he's the same. In fact, we're not even going to have to touch the pitcher until we make changes to the pitchers. So 1 out, 1 on. Not a real great threat to steal here, a 4. Peterson not known for stealing bases, so we're going to leave him there. Christian Walker to the plate. That's going to be a single to zone 1. So basically, this has been hit up through the box, and it's gotten to center field, and we have an error check on the center fielder. 10 is not going to reach our threshold because it's 10 plus 6 is 16, and the center fielder's error rating is a 9. 16 minus 9 is 7, and it has to reach with runners on base, has to reach 18. It has to reach 19. It has to be greater than this number. So this one has to be 20. This one has to be 19. This one has to be 18. Might be a little bit confusing that you have to be above that number. I don't know what's going to work better. For me right now, that's the target. Maybe that means that is the number you got to hit. So maybe I need to change those up just a little bit. But anyway, it's a single to center field. It's going to move the runner along to second base. He's not going to be a great threat to move up on the play, but our center fielder's arm is a 6, and so basically just a single through the box is what we have there. So we got 2 on with 1 out. I guess I should be doing the outs. Next up is Gurriel Jr. He's a -1 batter. We get a routine fly ball out to center field. I love that it kind of helps you understand what type of ball it is, where it goes, and kind of gives you a real visual sort of look at the game. We have to do an error check on the center fielder. We have a 12. 17 is not even up to our threshold, so everybody has at least a +1, so at the very worst, it's a 16. But there are no negative numbers on the fielding. So 17 is not going to meet our threshold. that's what I'm saying. You can kind of see eventually how those things work out. That's just a routine fly ball, nothing deep or special about that, and that's going to be out number 2. Up next is McCarthy. He hits a soft grounder to zone 15. Remember, we talked about the 15 to 19 or 15 to 20 zones on a ground ball are all going to be foul balls. So it automatically shows you that foul ball, but just, it's tap foul to third. So you re-roll, and now we get a strikeout. And this is, if the stuff of the pitcher is greater than 6, then it's a strikeout looking. His stuff is a 6. It's not greater than 6. So we're going to get a strikeout swinging. And that is the end of the inning. But Arizona does put 1 on the board, and they lead by a score of 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of the first. So I'm going to start picking it up a little bit and only show you kind of odd, unusual plays. We haven't had a range play yet, but they're going to be coming. So first we have Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman against Brandon Pfaadt. Again, if the pitcher was different, we would be setting this differently. An example of that is here. So you can see Cole Irvin had a -1 and Cutter Crawford had a +1. So each half inning you need to go in and make those changes. So Mookie Betts to the plate. He's a +1 batter. You can see his power is 1, his speed is 6, stolen base 8, and 5 for his extra bases. But this is the man right here, Ohtani. Power, the best hitter there is, one of the best powers there is at 8. So basically a D10 plus 8 has to match, it has to be a 19. So anything from 11 to 20, so about a 50% chance on a home run chance. And then excellent at stealing bases. He's basically a lock to score from most anywhere. So he's a special player, and he shows up in the stats as a special player as well. So Betts is a +1. We got a +2 for our pitcher, and we're ready to roll. It's going to be a hard fly ball to zone 12. So a high pop-up to zone 12. It's the center fielder. Here, it could be the shortstop, second baseman, or center fielder coming to get the play. And if you see the charts for rolling dice, you'll see all the different players who could possibly come into these sort of medium zones. So it's the center fielder coming in this time. We have a 7, so that's a 16. The center fielder is an error rating of 9. So 16 minus 9 is, what is that, 7? So that's going to be definitely a catch. So a little short pop-up into center field. Center fielder comes in to make the catch, and that is out number 1. Ohtani, a +3, so we got kind of power against power. He's going to hit a single right to the right fielder, and the right fielder this is a hard single. E9 is about the most challenging error that you can have. Our right fielder is McCarthy. He's not in center. The right fielder is McCarthy. His error rating is a 9. So we're going to roll. 18 minus 9 is 9. So it's a single with no extra error on top of that. So Ohtani is at first base, and this is a really good chance for us to show off the stolen base. So his stolen base is a 10. And when we look at our steal, got a little picture of a thief there. I thought that was fun. We have the pitcher's hold plus the catcher's arm plus the D20 result minus the base runner's stolen base. So we have a 10 here. So we're stealing second. It has to be at least a 15. So all this together has to reach at least 25 for the steal to happen. Now, pitcher hold and catcher arm. The pitcher hold is here for Brandon Pfaadt. That's going to be a 4. And we find the catcher, Moreno. His arm is a 4. And so this is going to be an 8. So these numbers seem a little bit low to you because I'm adding them together and adding them to the D20. So what I had to do, because we're putting those two things together, is I had to sort of cut those down just a little bit so that they would equal one regular rating. So hopefully that makes sense. So a 4 is actually quite good. You could basically double these ratings, and you would kind of get what the player would be. I mean, most of you would be like, well, Gabby Moreno is a terrific thrower of the ball. Why does he have a 4? 4 is kind of an 8 in that way. So just to let you know, I had to game that just a little bit just because we're adding those two things together. It feels like you should do that. So an 8 out of the battery is actually quite good. That would be like 8 out of 10. So we have our D20 result. We have an 8 here, and if we need a 25, we need this D20 result to be at least a 17. If it's not, then he's going to be safe. We roll our D20, it's a 10. And so when we go back to the stealing, we say 10 plus 8 is 18, minus 10 is going to be a plus 8. And then when we look at our stealing second base, it's a 14, so he's under that. So you got to have a really great roll to get a really great base stealer, but not so much these guys who are in the middle. So Ohtani steals second base, and stealing bases, once you memorize the formula, is pretty easy. Freddie Freeman, he is a +1, and he's got 1 on the pond with 1 out. Hard grounder to zone 4, that's going to be hit to the second baseman. You got a little bit of a diamond here, so you can kind of see where it is. So at this point, there's only one zone, but I've got this broken up into kind of deep and short and things like that. So that's going to play into the game at some point. But at this point, it's a hard grounder to zone 4. We're checking the error on the second baseman. You can see E9, that's pretty high. So a difficult play, but he's going to make it a 3. Is definitely no problem. So 12 minus the second baseman's error is a 3. So Marte, a good second baseman. And that will be a play to first base, and that will move the runner over to third on the fielder's choice. Still going to have to, right now, I've got a couple of things, but it's not codified as far as base running when the ball's hit. And Will Smith to the plate. He is a 0. He's got 1 at third with 2 outs, and he's going to strike out again. If the stuff is -5, it changes to a routine grounder. His stuff is a 5, so that's going to be a strikeout for Brandon Pfaadt. You'll find most pitchers are in that 4, 5, 6 range for most of these different types of plays. So I'm not doing a good job of keeping track of the outs up there, but I'm keeping track of them here. Still 1-0 Arizona as we go to the top of the second. I'll begin to move quite a bit more quickly here and just going through the results. So this will be Eugenio Suarez. That's a hard grounder to zone 19. That's foul. Line drive to zone 12. And we have the shortstop going out. Remember, I told you it could be either of these 3 players. So this time it's the shortstop going out. Now we need to do a range play. Our range play says the D20 plus the degree of difficulty, which on this play, the degree of difficulty is a 7. So D20 plus 7, that's 15. 15 minus the player's range, which is our shortstop bets. His range is a 7, so that's an 8. And then if it's going to the outfield zones here, 10 to 14, then it has to reach an 18 or more than 18. So it has to be 19 or more. So Betts is going to go out on that line drive, and he's going to make the catch. So we'll just call that an L6 on the put out. So range plays work almost the same as an error play, and you can kind of get many of the same baselines. You know, if it's 15 plus, you should definitely be checking. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be, unless the guy just has terrible range, which I told you Pages and Smith don't have good range. Carroll and Suarez don't have good range. But up the middle, both of these teams are pretty good except for Pages. So next up is going to be Gabby Moreno. That's going to be a single to zone 13. So that's a single. It gets through. Probably a routine grounder that got through the infield because it's an E6, and you can kind of, again, see the matrix in some ways. So this is going to be picked up by the right fielder. We have to check on the error. There's no error on the play. So single to right for Gabby Moreno. he gets it past the second baseman, Lux, and into right field. And we got one on with one out. He's a steal of 5, not a great base stealer. The catcher is a 4. That's pretty good for Smith. And his hold is a 3. So that's a 7, basically a 7 out of 10. So you're going to have to like really, that's not great odds for the base stealer. You can do the odds in your head and just figure out the formula and say, okay, well, how much do I need in order to make it to the base? So Newman is up. He's a -3. He is going to hit away. This is going to be a routine fly ball out to left field toward the line. Not a difficult play here. An 18 on a left fielder. 18 -6 is 12, and that's definitely within the range. So we'll go F7 on the putout. The runner is going to hold it first. That gets back to the top of the order with Corbin Carroll. Don't want to do that. I want to do this one. +1 to Corbin Carroll, and he strikes out. So he is now 1 for 2 as he ends the inning. They strand a runner at first base, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Arizona. Teoscar Hernandez, Gavin Lux, and Andy Pages coming up to the plate. I don't know if it's too dark or not, but hopefully causing some issues here. Maybe that makes things just a little bit lighter on the table. I think it was the camera up here on top was adjusting for this light here, so maybe you can see everything else here a little bit lighter and better. All right, Teoscar Hernandez, right fielder. He's going to be a +1. Again, both of our pitchers are +2, so we just kind of do that. We get a home run chance, so Teoscar Hernandez hits one deep to right field. We got an oppo, so opposite field, home run chance. And again, on the home run chance, we look at it needs to reach at least a 19 or it's going to be a double. And so we roll our D10. We add it to his power, which is really good, second best on the team. So whatever this is, that needs to be at least a 14 or better to be a home run. A 14 or better means that it's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 7 times 5, a 35% chance of hitting a home run. We'll see. It's a 10. 10 plus 5 is 15, and so that's going to be a ringing double off the wall in right field. And Hernandez is going to be on with a leadoff double. Gavin Lux up next. Routine line drive to zone 15. That's into the gap in right center field. Not a difficult play. I know it says left fielder. I'm going to say right fielder. That's one of the errors. I have to go back into the thing because zone 16 should be the left and center fielder. Here it should be the center and the right fielder. So I'm going to say the right fielder is what it should be. So we're looking at the right fielder. A 9 is not going to meet our threshold, so that's going to be, I'm just going to call that a fly out to 9. It's a line drive, but I'm going to score F9 in the book. The runner at second base is going to get a little bit of a boost here if we look at our modifiers. So fielding the ball in the gaps or at the track is going to be a +2. He's already an 11. So we can look at trying to and the ball's hit behind the runner. So that's going to be a +3. So 11 + 3 is 14. Our right fielder's arm is going to be a 6. And I think we're going to try to advance on that. So let's go ahead and roll our D20 and we'll do our advancement. So we get a 15. That's a pretty good execution. 15 plus the runner's arm is 6. So that's a 21. 21 minus 11 plus 2 is 13. 21 minus 13 is an 8. And so we're going from, I have been doing tagging on fly ball. It's a 14. So that's not going to meet the threshold. So that's going to be, he goes on the F9. So advances the runner to third base. We have a runner at third with 1 out. And that's going to bring up Andy Pages. Pages is a -1 batter. Soft fly ball to zone 1. So that's popped up to the infield. The third baseman comes in, Suarez, and he's going to make the catch. That was a big time pitch there from Brandon Pfaadt to get that second out. We got a runner at third now with 2 outs, and the third baseman is Kike Hernandez, and he is going to go down on strikes. So Pfaadt gives up a leadoff double, hits the man all the way to third, and LA can't drive him home. We're going to go to the top of the third, still 1-0 Arizona, and it'll be the heart of the order for the D-backs, Marte, Peterson, and Walker against Gavin Stone. Routine grounder, zone 15, that's going to be a foul ball, and gives him new life. He's going to take a walk. So we get he's a 6 on his stolen bases. A little bit of a tweener. We have a 7 here. So let's go ahead and try it. We're going to roll our D20. A 10 plus 7 is 17. 17 minus 6 is going to be an 11. And on our stealing second base, it has to be greater than 14. So he's going to take second base. And you might think, oh, it's kind of easy to steal. Well, the stolen base rates are somewhere between 72 and 75%. In fact, I think the ending stolen base rate last year was 80 to 81%. So the people who are stealing bags are getting there, and don't be afraid to steal bases with fast runners these days. Peterson is up. He had an RBI single last time. He drove in Corbin Carroll from second. Let's see if he can do the same thing to Ketel Marte. He's a +2. Soft line drive to zone 5. That's going to be a short pop-up. A 24, that should pique your interest. A 24, we check our third baseman. His error rating is a 3. That makes him a 21. So even though this is a short little pop-up, to third base, he is going to make an error. So we look at our errors. Routine with runners on base, 19 is our threshold. He had a 21. And so we're going to say E5 on the play, and that's going to cause him to move. Actually, we'll let him move up, but it's kind of unrealistic that he will move up from second base. He would be sitting there waiting for the pop fly. So maybe it popped out of his glove and squirted off somewhere. That'll be the narrative that we say. Normally, I wouldn't let him move up just because that's like a baseball player not going to make. Walker is the first baseman. He's got 2 on with nobody out. Routine liner to shortstop. He's going to make the play, so we'll go L6 on the putout. That's a big out number 1 as we get a line drive right to the shortstop. Gurriel to the plate. Is going to strike out. So nice pitch by Gavin Stone to get the second out. He's 1 batter away from stranding a runner here. Not a great hitter here with McCarthy. And he is going to single into right center field. What do you know? And a 20 and a right fielder is a 10, so that's not going to be an error, but a single to right. And that will plate 1. And that's going to give Arizona a 2-run lead. The runner here moves up to second. He is a 10. Our right fielder is a 10 arm. That is Hernandez. And so I think we're going to stop right there with 2 outs. With 2 outs, you get an extra 2 bases, and it's hit behind the runner. So 2 outs, you get a +2. Hit behind the runner, you get a +1. So he would be a +3. 10 plus 3 is 13, but he's a 10, so that's a -3. And to get someone going first to third, you need to roll a 9. So what would that be? Anything from 13 and up. So you're talking about now you're getting into about a 55% chance at that time, 60% chance. That's you're already in scoring position. There's no need to push that. So we got 2 on with 2 outs, and we have up to the plate Eugenio Suarez, Suarez singles to left. He hits it right to the left fielder, but he hits it hard. A 23. Remember, 14 plus 9 is 23. And the left fielder is Vargas. His error rating is a 5. So 23 minus 5 is 18. We have runners on base, so our threshold changes a little bit for an error. And with runners on base, it is 18. So again, it has to be 19 or greater. So that's going to be a single to left field, no error. He's going to move up 1. He's going to go here. Our left fielder arm is an 8. Vargas actually has a pretty decent arm. But our base runner is McCarthy. He's an 18. You can't read it very well, but it's 10 plus 8. So we're going to go ahead and send McCarthy home. It's a 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 minus 18. And then there's some modifiers there. So 18 becomes hit directly minus 2. 2 outs plus 2. So those basically cancel each other out. It's hit in front of the runner and throw from left field. So that's going to be a minus 2 to his rating here. So basically a 16. And then I said, what was it here? I don't know what the D20 was. I forgot. What was it? I want to say it was a 4. I'm going to give him a 4 because I think that's what it was. So 12 minus 16 is a minus 4. And then when we're taking extra bases, going second to home, it has to be greater than 9. So don't know what I'm doing there. He's going to go all the way home on the single. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like you got to, if you remember the formulas, then you don't have to go back and forth. I'm just trying to show you everything. And then if you're playing the paper version, then nothing is weird because you're always able to kind of see the dice. They're just sitting on the table. Right, next up is Gabby Moreno, another 0 hitter. 2 in the inning. It's now 3-0 Arizona over LA. Gavin Stone having a hard time getting anybody out. This is going to be a home run chance to Gabby Moreno. He has pulled the ball to left field. That's going to be tough. He has to roll basically a 20. It's a 15. 15 becomes 16. 16 on our home run chance is going to be a double. So that's going to be a 2-bagger to left field. And that will push the runner to third base. We're going to hold Suarez, not the swiftest of runners. That was actually 2 RBIs here, huh? No, here. This guy came in too on the single. So it's actually 4-0. So Gavin Moreno with a double. And Dave Roberts hoping to get out of this mess. That's a pop up to third. And that will be the third out of the inning. So Stone gets a pop up. That ends the inning mercifully. The D-backs do score 3, and they lead by a score of 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. All right. Vargas, the left fielder, he is a -2. That's going to be a strikeout for out number 1 as Fott gets him. Next up, Mookie Betts, soft liner to 12. So again, a little line drive that the shortstop goes out on. The range is 5, and the shortstop is Newman. He's going to get there on the L6. That's actually out number 2. And that brings up Ohtani at +3. That's going to be a hard grounder. Remember, a walk asterisk means if the pitcher's location is greater than 4, which he has a 6, that's basically how good are you at locating pitches, which means he's going to be avoiding walks. So if it's better than 4, that turns into a hard grounder, and the hard grounder goes to 16, which is a foul ball. So we'll do it all over. Routine fly to zone 11, popped up to short left field, coming in as a center fielder. He is going to make the catch, and that is Corbin Carroll putting it away for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning, for the Dodgers in the bottom of the third, and we go to the top of the fourth. Arizona 4-0 over LA. This game was played actually. I'm using actual lineups. I don't remember when it was played, like May or June of 2024. It'll be Carroll, Marte, and Peterson up for the D-backs. Carroll +1. We get a home run chance as Carroll with a power of +2 pulls it down the line. A 7 is not going to get out, but that's going to be a double into right field as he one-hops the wall. And he'll be at second base for Ketel Marte, who is a +2. We get a strikeout as Marte strikes out for the second time. And Carroll is at third. He's a stolen base of 10. Let's see if we can get him to third on a stolen base. So we're going to go ahead and steal. We have a 10, and then, again, our battery here is a 7, so we just remember that. Oh, 18 plus 7 is 25. 25 minus 10 is a 15, and a 15 on stealing third. Oh, is just below. It's actually easier to steal third, if you can believe it. So he's going to get in there just ahead of the throw. 15 is less than 16. So it has to be 17 or greater to get him at third. We have Jock Peterson to the plate, and he's got a runner in scoring position now. A runner at third base, sorry. Hard grounder to 17. That's a foul ball. Hard fly ball to zone 2. That's going to be popped up. A high fly ball. Tougher play because it's such a high fly ball. 25 to our catcher. Our catcher is Will Smith. His error rating is a 9. So an excellent catcher. 25 minus 9 is 16, and 16 will meet our threshold for an error. There's none of these that are 15 or below. So that's going to be P2. You can see where an inferior fielder on a high roll like that is going to have a hard time with it. But he makes a tough catch right around the plate. That'll be out number 2. Obviously, you can't run home on that, and that's going to be Walker to the plate. Walker a +1. Hard line drive to 15. Got a chance here, as that's a tough one. Range play of 9 is as tough or difficult to play as you can get. Our center fielder doesn't have much of a chance. He's a -1. So we'll see. It has to be a high roll. A 4, 13 minus 1. I'm sorry, it had to be a low roll. So 13 minus 1 is a 12, and 12 on a range play to 15 or 16 has to be 15 or 16 or greater. And so Andy Pages gets there on the hard line drive into the gap, and terrific play in center field. That's going to save a run and in the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Nice play out there by Andy Pages, who is not known for his range. Freddie Freeman to the plate. Freeman a +1. He grounded out in his first at-bat. He's going to hit a high pop-up here to first base, and that's going to be caught by the first baseman, Walker, for out number 1. Brings up Will Smith. Smith is going to strike out. He's got 2 Ks in the game, 0 for 2. And that'll bring up Teoscar Hernandez. Hernandez with a double to right in his last time out. But he is going to strike out here. Back-to-back Ks ends the inning for Brandon Pfaadt. That's another 1-2-3 inning for the Dodgers, and we go to the 5th. It is 4-0 Arizona over LA. For the D-backs, it's going to be Gurriel Jr., McCarthy, and Suarez. Soft liner to zone 19. Zone 19 is here on a soft line drive. So a ground ball, they become foul balls automatically. On a soft liner, that's a little pop-up into foul territory. The right fielder, that can't be right. It should be the first. I'm going to change that to the first baseman because it should be the first baseman. The first baseman has an R7. Let's go ahead and play it as it is, but that's unrealistic that he would come in to make that play. A 23, though. 23, and we're looking at the right fielder here. His range is an 8. That's Teoscar Hernandez. So 23 minus 8 is 18. And 15. I'm sorry, 15. And on a range play when we're looking at infield 19. So he definitely meets that. You can see that the result is a foul ball if they don't get there. So that's going to be a foul out to 9 since we used him. McCarthy is a -3. He has singled and struck out. There's a hard grounder right back to the pitcher. Toughest play for a pitcher. 17 plus 9 is 26. Now, for pitchers, I've been giving them a flat 5 for their fielding rating and a 3 for their range. So for an error, it is 16 minus 5, or 26 minus 5, which is a 21. And on this, he's going to make an error. So routine, no runners on, and we're going to call that an E1. As the pitcher makes an error, and that brings up Eugenio Suarez. Suarez with a 2 RBI single in his first at bat. It's a little pop up into short right field. The second baseman is after it. A 22, not a gimme. 22 to the second baseman. His error is a 7. So, was that a 15? So we'll go P4 as he makes the catch on the outfield grass. Runner doesn't move, and that's going to be Moreno to the plate. He gets a hold of one, drives it to deep center field, and a 6 means that's going to be a double, 2-out double to dead center field for Gabby Moreno is going to push the runner to third base. We're going to go ahead and send him. He's got an 18 plus 2 is going to be a 20. He's almost a shoe-in here. So our center fielder is Pajes. He has a 6 arm, so we'll remember that. So 8 and just the 18 is going to be enough to get him there. We don't even need any modifiers. So 2-out double, runner running on contact, and Moreno drives in the 5th run. Don't know how long Dave's going to be going with Gavin Stone here, but Gabby Moreno, 3 for 3, have a day, a single and 2 doubles, and now an RBI. Brings up Kevin Newman, and Newman is going to get the strikeout. So he strikes out for the 3rd out, but not before lightning strikes again. It is now 5-0 Arizona over LA. For the Dodgers in the 5th, who have yet to even take 2 turns through the order, it'll be Lux, Pajes, and Hernandez. So Gavin Lux, a 0 hitter. He's going to strike out. 3 strikeouts in a row for Brandon Pfaadt, who's got it working. -1. Routine grounder, foul, and another strikeout. So he gets new life. 4 strikeouts in a row for Brandon Pfaadt. And now here is a grounder to zone 13. So on this, on a routine grounder to these, it can get through or not. So it's a good play by the second baseman. He gets to the ball. And now we have to check our error rating. 21 is quite high, so we're going to look at the error rating for the second baseman. The second baseman is Marte. Very good second baseman, so that's going to be 21 minus 9 is a 12. So that's going to be a 4-3 putout as he makes the play to first. So the Dodgers go down in order yet again. That's 3 innings in a row for the Dodgers as Pfaadt is starting to feel it, getting loose and warm. Gavin Stone, not so much. We're going to send him out there for the 6th, 4th time through the order. I don't typically like to do that, but trying to keep the game moving here. It'll be Carroll, Marte, and Peterson. Maybe he can just get himself through one more inning. There's no, don't have any stamina built into the game at this point, just kind of winging it, whatever I feel. So it's going to be Corbin Carroll. A liner to zone 3. That's to the first baseman. Routine line drive. And no problem at first for Fredo Freeman as he makes the catch. So liner to 3. And that'll be out number 1. Ketel Marte to the plate. Marte is 0 for 2 with a walk, a couple strikeouts. This time he puts the bat on the ball, and he hits it out to right field. This is a lazy fly ball out to right field. No problem for Teoscar Hernandez. That's out number 2. And that will bring up Peterson. Peterson at +2. That's a liner to 15. So into the gap. It's going to be our right fielder this time. 17 plus 5 is 22. The right fielder is Hernandez. His range is excellent. It's an 8. 22 minus 8 is 14. And that's definitely under our threshold if we look here. So into the gaps, it's 15. So it's under our threshold. If it was 16 or more, we would have to look at the gap hits chart, which I haven't incorporated yet. So line drive into the outfield, a 1-2-3 inning for Gavin Stone, and that is most likely going to be his last. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 5-0 Arizona over LA. Fott's going to go out there against Vargas, Betts, and Ohtani. Vargas, a little pop-up to zone 14. That's behind in that triangle between second, first, and the right fielder down the line. Rushing over is the second baseman. A 19 to Ketel Marte. It's an error rating, so 19 minus 9 is 10, and he's going to get there as we'll call it a fly ball to 4. So Marte rushes out down the line, makes a pretty catch, and that's going to be out number 1. Mookie Betts to the plate. Hard grounder to short. Tough play by the shortstop, but made super smooth by Kevin Newman as he makes the throw to first, and that will be actually 2 outs. And it will be Shohei Ohtani to the plate. He's strength against strength, and Ohtani is going to take a walk. It's actually his first walk of the game. He's 1 for 2 with a single. And Ohtani at first, and Freddie Freeman to the plate. Dodgers playing for a big inning here, but they're going to get a strikeout from Freddie. 3rd out of the inning. The Dodgers strand 1 in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. It is Arizona 4-5 and LA 0. Let's go ahead and get a new pitcher for the LA. All right, the new pitcher is going to be Ryan Yarbrough. Yarbrough, you can see here. So I like to go through the game started column. You can see here, these are all the starters for LA, and they're sort of sorted by how many games started. And so you can easily find the relievers when you get down to the 0. You can see here, this guy got into 18 games, Honeywell. If he needed somebody a little bit longer, he had 18 games, only 1 start, 34 innings, so he would be a legit option in a situation like this. These guys here, Grove, Banda, those are definitely relief pitchers. So you got to kind of combine a few stats and things that Brazier would be an option for 1 or 2 innings. We're going to go with Yarbrough, 32 games, 67 innings pitched. So that means he's probably 2 innings per game that he pitched in. And we're going to go 0.654. Game is not particularly close, where we want to make sure. I believe that Yarbrough is a righty. I have to get the right-handed, left-handed in there as well. So he's going to come in and relieve Gavin Stone. Gavin Stone goes 6 innings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. 9 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs. And we'll see how many of those are earned. So this one is not earned. This one, would he have scored anyway? Yes. So it looks like 2 were not earned, so 3, best I can see. 1 walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks. and then no hit by pitch or wild pitch or anything. So he's out of the game. 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, just 3 earned per my calculation. And in the top of the 7th, it will be Ryan Yarbrough against Walker, Gurriel, and McCarthy. Walker is a +1. Now we have a change here because he's a 0. So we're going to have to remember that between the two pitchers. So a 0 to a +1. Routine line drive to zone 15. That's going to be a routine liner. A kind of a humpback liner. That can't be right shortstop. We're going to change that to the right fielder. Actually, let's just roll again. When I have a problem like that, I just roll again. So we get a home run. That is going to come from Christian Walker. Unfair, I know, but it's the Dodgers. I really, as a Braves fan, I'm sorry, Dodger fans, I don't care. It's going to be Gurriel to the plate. Now Gurriel's a -1 and a home run chance. So Yarbrough is leaving the ball out over the plate. An oppo home run chance for Gurriel to right field. We're going to roll. And again, just as a reminder, our home run has to be 19 or greater. And we roll a D20. We add that to our power rating of a 1. We get a 9, and that's going to be a double into right center field. As that one hops the wall. And Gurriel is going to wind up at second base. So 1 in and 1 on with nobody out. And that brings up McCarthy to the plate. McCarthy is a strikeout victim for the second time. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Suarez. This is a soft liner to 13. Center fielder is coming in hard on that. He has to try to get there. That's Pajes with a range of 1. So a 7 -1 is, because this is a low roll, then that's not a big deal. 7 -1 is 6, and 6 is going to meet our threshold for outfield spots 10 to 14. So a little humpback liner that Andy Pajes comes in on, probably makes even a sliding catch. We'll go L8, and the runner will stay put at second base. Brings up Gabby Moreno, soft liner to 14. So another little flare down the right field line. Coming in hard is Teoscar Hernandez, and he's going to make a nice running catch out in right field. That'll be the third out. So Arizona strands. Oh, I'm sorry. They scored 1. They strand a runner at second base, but they do get 1 on the home run from Christian Walker. And it's going to be a score of 6-0 now, as they are handling the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. Dodgers have enough firepower. Let's see if they can get through and make a run here. Bottom of the 7th inning we go. 6-0. They'll send up Smith, Hernandez, and Lux. So 3 pretty decent hitters here, average to above average. Again, we have to change our pitcher. So Brandon Pfaadt's going to go out there for the 7th, and we'll see how he does. Routine fly, pop up on the infield. That's going to be to the third baseman. A 25 is pretty high. So let's see if he gets there. Maybe he's going to stumble and it pops out of his glove. The third baseman will be Suarez. Suarez's error rating is a 6. A 25 -6 is a 19, and a 19 on the error rating is that. So it needs to be greater than 19 with nobody on, and that will be a P5, as he has a little trouble with it, but makes the catch ultimately. And that brings up Teoscar Hernandez. Hernandez with a double and a strikeout. He's a +1. Single to zone 6. That means he hits it past the shortstop into left field. We do an error check on the fielder, and he makes the play out in left. That's going to be a 2 for 3 day for Teoscar as he gets it through the infield to left. Lux is up. He is 0 for 2. Lux will be a 0 hitter, and he strikes out. That's 0 for 3. He struck out in his last 2 at-bats, and we're in danger of stranding another runner for LA. Pajes coming to the plate, and Pajes is going to strike out. Brandon Pfaadt. Look at all these Ks. The bottom of the order, just taking care of business with these Dodger hitters that were at the bottom of the order. and that'll probably be the last inning for him, and we'll bring in a pitcher in the 8th inning. But 7 strong for Brandon Fott, and we will go to the top of the 8th inning. It is still 6-0. We'll leave Yarborough out there for one more inning and see if he can not give up a home run. He'll face off against Newman, Carroll, and Marte. Again, he is a 0, and Newman is a -3. And we get a strikeout. That is the second strikeout for Newman and the second strikeout for Yarborough. Back to the top of the order with Corbin Carroll, +1. Routine liner to second base. A 24, nothing routine about that. Second base, we have Lux. 24 -7 is 17. And on an error rating, he has to get to 20. And so a nice catch there by the second baseman, Lux. That'll be out number 2. Marte to the plate. Marte batting left-handed against the righty Yarborough. Hard fly ball to zone 20. Okay, so this one is pulled. He's batting left-handed, so it's important to know that. So we're going to go to the 20 down the pull side. We have an E7, so coming in is the right fielder. That's Teoscar Hernandez. An 11 is not going to meet our threshold, and so Hernandez comes into foul territory, and he's going to make a catch. We're going to call that foul out 9. And that's going to be the third out of the inning. So top of the 8th inning is over, and Arizona does not score. They're up 6-0 in this one. We're going to get a new pitcher for Arizona. All right, stellar day for Brandon Fott. He goes 7, gives up 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 10 Ks. Coming in is Bryce Jarvis. Jarvis will be a -3, so quite a downgrade for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He will be facing off against the bottom of the order, though. It's Kike Hernandez, Miguel Vargas, and then back to the top with Betts. So gets an opportunity here, and let's see if he can capitalize here in the bottom of the 8th inning now. So Kike Hernandez 0 for 2, and Jarvis comes in hard with a strikeout, and that's going to be out number 1. He faces off against Miguel Vargas. He's got 2 strikeouts. Actually, if his stuff is greater than 6, it's not. We need to remember that his stuff is less than 5. That's going to be important, and his location is less than 5 as well. So that's going to, there's some modifiers here that I've tried to put into the application, make it easy for you to just judge those things. Last is Mookie Betts. He is a +1. He's got 3 outs. Nothing to show for anything. Soft liner to 16 into the gap. The left fielder is coming over to make a range play on this soft line drive, and he'll make a good catch. That's going to be Gurriel Jr., who makes a nice running catch for the third out. 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Jarvis. Excellent job by him. We go to the top of the 9th, and I'm going to put in a new pitcher for the Dodgers. Okay, new pitcher for the Dodgers. You can see him here, Blake Trinan, and he is going to replace Ryan Yarborough. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. That was a home run, so earned run on the Christian Walker home run. No hit by pitch, wild pitches or balks. It will be Peterson, Walker, and Gurriel against Blake Trinan, who is a pitching 2, 5 for his stuff, 6 location, and 4 for his hold. So he was excellent. He's facing the middle of the order. I wanted to make sure that no funny business here in the top of the 9th. LA needs all the help they can get to keep this lead where it is. It's going to be Peterson up first. He's a +2, and our pitcher is a +2. So just like that, Jock Peterson gets a hanger, and he bangs it out of the park. That's going to be a home run for Jock, who loves to compete against his former team, and he drills one out of the ballpark. You can see excellent hitter in 2024, +2 hitter with 4 power. So Peterson was legit last year for the Diamondbacks. Brings up Walker. Walker's got a home run and a single. He's got a couple of RBIs and a couple of runs scored. This time he is going to strike out. The stuff is only a 5, so not looking, and that will be out number 1. Gurriel Jr. to the plate. He is going to strike out as Trinan Sharp after the home run. Sometimes getting punched in the face like that sharpens you up a little bit. This can be a soft grounder to zone 9. Soft grounders don't get through whenever they hit to the outfield. So the first baseman is going to get to this. So it's each of these outfield zones has like a designated person, and to right field is the first baseman. So soft grounder to first base, a 17 is not going to meet our threshold. Going to pitch it over to the pitcher covering, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Blake Trinan as Freddie Freeman initiates that out at first. We go to the bottom of the inning. We're going to let Bryce Jarvis go out there for one more inning, see if he can protect a 6-run lead. He'll be facing the big boys, Ohtani, Freeman, and Smith. So Ohtani up first. He is going to be a -3, Jarvis is. And let's see, hard fly ball to zone 18. Okay, so that's about what we would expect. Hard fly balls to 17, 18, or 19 always necessitate a home run check. So we have here 17, 18, or 19. It's a little bit different for each one. So the home run target is 20 on the corners and 21 to center field, because it just takes a little bit more to get it out to center field. We see that we have a hard fly ball to zone 18. That's to center field. We need to do the home run check first, and then we'll see what happens on the play. So a 14 plus Ohtani's power is a 22. And we see that a 21 is our threshold, so a 22 is going to be a bomb Zola. And that is Shohei being Shohei, as he drills one in the 9th inning to get the Dodgers on the board. They avoid the shutout, and Shohei Ohtani now 2 for 3 with a single, a homer, a stolen base, a walk, and an RBI. So it's now 6-1. So Ohtani doing Ohtani things in this one. We get another home run chance. So one gets left out over the plate. This is Freddie Freeman to center field. And we need to roll again. We get a 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. That's not going to meet any sort of threshold, especially for the home run chance. You see it has to be 19 or greater. So that's going to be a 2-bagger to center field. And Jarvis at this point is only giving up 1 run, so I'm going to leave him in there. The worst he could do was have a 3-run lead if Smith hits a home run. So trying to get a little out of him, but he keeps giving up hard hit balls. This will be the last batter for Jarvis, as this is a home run chance to left field pulled by Smith. A 3 plus 2 is a 5, and that's going to be a double that hits off the top of the wall in left. That's going to score Freeman from second base, and Stephen Vogt's going to come out of the dugout, and we're going to take care of business by getting this guy out of the game. So Jarvis is going to be out of the game, and let me put you on hold to get a new pitcher for Arizona. It's now 6-2. All right, pitcher into the game is Paul Sewald. Sewald. Sewald is the closer. He had something like 16 saves, 4.31 ERA in 42 games, 16 saves, 39 innings pitched. He's going to be a 2.74.4, and he will be into the game inheriting a bit of a mess. 2 already in. We got a double as Smith doubled to left field, and that brought Freddie Freeman home after the Ohtani crank to center field. So we have Hernandez to the plate with nobody out and a runner at second base. So Sewald is a +2 and Hernandez is a +1. Strikeout. If his stuff is greater than 6, it's looking, and it is. It's a 7, so he gets the old looking K. Most of your relievers are going to be the ones with nasty stuff like that, but I haven't checked out Tarek Skubal or something else, so maybe he's got a high number like that on his stuff. So Lux to the plate. Lux is 0 for 3 with a couple of Ks. He is a 0 hitter, so he's got a pretty good chance. In fact, he cranks this one out to center field. It's must be blowing out to center. I don't know. His power is only a 1. And so we're going to roll. It's a 12. A 13 is not enough to make the threshold. Remember, our threshold is 18, so it's got to be 19 or more. And so that's going to be another double to center field. That's going to drive in another run, and it's doubles galore here in the 9th inning. That's going to end the night and close the book as this guy gives up 3 runs. They're all earned. And now it is 6-3 as the Dodgers trying to make a comeback here. Pages to the plate. Pages is going to strike out. That's a couple strikeouts for Sewald. And the last chance is Enrique Hernandez, who is a -1. He's 0 for 3, and he is going to strike out. So, and again, another strikeout looking as Sewald is nasty in the 9th inning. That's why you bring in the closer. The Dodgers do score 3, but they're going to come up short, and they're going to lose by a score of 6-3. So let me put you on hold. I'll come back with all the totals, and we will finish this one out. All right, and we are back with our totals. It's going to be a 6-3 victory for Arizona. It's 6 runs on 12 hits, no errors for the D-backs, and 3 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors for the Dodgers. Big man on campus. Who would it be? Well, we get a couple of doubles from Corbin Carroll. We get a 2 for 3 day for Jock Peterson, including a solo home run. Had a home run from Christian Walker as well, and 2 RBIs from Eugenio Suarez. 3 for 4 day for Gabby Moreno, 2 doubles, a single, and an RBI. And for the Dodgers, it's Ohtani, 2 for 3 with a homer. Freddie Freeman with a double and a run scored there in the 9th inning. Smith the same, a double and a run scored. But you can see down here at the bottom, not a lot of contact being made. It's mostly where the strikeouts were, and you can see these guys are not exactly world beaters down at the bottom of the order. And so that, I think that sort of accurately sums up the Dodger lineup for a good portion of last year. Really heavy at the top and a lot of activity, and not, once you get to 6 to 9, not a lot happening down at the bottom. But they had good pitching. Stone, 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs. Just 3 of those were earned. 6 Ks and a walk. He's going to take the loss. Brandon Pfaadt, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk and 10 Ks. Excellent start for him. Most people would be like, why didn't you leave him in the game? Because that's just, I don't know. Most guys, 7 innings these days, that's a 9-inning start from back in the day. So 3 hits, 3 runs for Bryce Jarvis, trying to get the young man a little playing time, and got a little bit fooled by the fool's gold here. 2 Ks and a 1-2-3 inning. Should have pulled him then, but Paul Sewald comes in after Jarvis gives up 3 runs, including a shot to Ohtani, and almost gave up a couple more home runs to Smith and Gavin Lux, but those turned out to be doubles. So win for Brandon Pfaadt. And if you're still here, I appreciate you sticking with it. A lot of this was kind of tutorial again. I'm showing you some of the things that have changed and some of the things that are new, especially with the application here. Again, you can just sort of look at any of these charts. And again, that comes on this chart sheet right here with all the charts here. If you want to use the dice, you certainly can. There's nothing that happens here that you can't do with the dice. It's just there's more dice rolls. And this does all of that dice rolling in the background for you and just basically spits out the final result. Some of these require 1 more, and so we have a D20 or a D10 dice roll that you need. But you got all the charts that you need here with all of the, even the zones. So if you wanted to play without this, you could just play with these 2 parts here where you're like, okay, what zone was that? Okay, it's, once you memorize the zones, you'll understand and you'll know. There's a few bugs to work out in here that we came across, so I just need to keep testing it and making sure that the bugs are out of there. I just want to go over I made a special sheet for this. So just going through the, what is this called? Score sheet. So you can see here, I'll add in the handedness too. That'll be a nice thing to have, or you can just write it in. We have the positions. We have their hitting, power, error, range, arm, speed, stolen base, and extra base numbers. Now, when you look at these sheets here, you can see that it goes in the same order: hitting, power, error, range, arm, either outfield or catcher, speed, stolen base, extra base. So you simply go left to right for your player, and you write those things in. That's, it's pretty easy to go ahead and bring those formulas in. That takes 5 minutes or something like that for me to do that before the game. And then you can just put in their arm ratings here. So you can see very quickly your outfielders and your catcher, they all have an arm rating. I just leave these blank so that it's easier to see. If you fill in a dash or something like that, it sometimes clogs things up. For the DH, really all you need is the hitting and the power number. You don't need their fielding ratings here, although some DHs played in the field. Peterson did not, and Otani did not. So you can switch in and use those DHs as you want. You can flip them around so that they play in the field later on. However you want to do your substitutions. So then we have actually, I don't think you can sub a DH. It has to be a DH to a DH. You can't put them in the field yet. That was something, I don't believe you can. That was something someone suggested at some point. And then the same thing down here. So you have visiting team, home team, visiting pitchers, home pitchers. Got a little place for game notes here. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then over here, if you were playing a season replay and you wanted to make sure that you had the available relievers, or if you were doing a totally, as played game, and you wanted to look on the box score and see who pitched in that game, you could put in your available relievers over here, and then you would just move them over here and just bring those relievers in. So a little bit of pre-planning, or if you want to play it totally as played, using the players that came into the game, or at least starting with the players that came into the game, then you can put those relievers here. It's got all their pitch stuff locations, so you can fill all that out beforehand and then simply transfer it over here whenever they actually get into the game. So I thought that would be a nice addition there. I was going to put sort of a fielding section where you could write in the fielders, but just not enough room there to be able to do that. And I wanted to make sure that we covered here. You might get a little bit confused by the, there's only 7 slots here, or 8 and not 9. That's because these are not by innings. These are by plate appearances, which you can see here. So first plate appearance, second. So you basically just go down the line, mark the middle of an inning, and, half their lineup got 5 plate appearances in this game. The Dodgers, not even everyone got 4. So number one, that's a way to tell how dominant one team has been offensively or defensively, however you want to look at it. And then another, it just allows me more space to be able to put more in there. You can see we have up to 19 innings, so which also might look a little funny to you, but if you go into extra innings, it's nice to have. I had an extra inning game here, the last one that I played. So it was Boston at Baltimore. Actually, it wound up Baltimore at Boston, so I put that wrong. But Boston won on a 2-run walk-off home run from O'Neill. I forgot about the ghost runner here. So I had to put him on base, and all this stuff got X'd out. It was a home run that I thought tied it, but it actually won the game 4-3. But you can see it went into extras a little bit. And I just kind of show the ghost runner here from the inning before. So this is the 10th inning for them. And just put the ghost runner on base there to see. what happens. So that's a little bit of an odd situation. Like, how do you put that into the score sheet? And maybe I'll have to look that up and see if there's like a more technical way to put that Ghost Runner in for the last couple seasons when we've had that. So 6-3 is our score. You'll get, all these components when you get the game. The game is not ready for prime time yet. The app is not ready for prime time, but I do want to make sure that you're kept in the loop. I will have to run the players again because I've kind of been mixing things up and changing things on the fly. So I just want to make sure that those things are taken care of before you get those numbers in your hand, even for a beta. But that'll be coming soon. And again, this is just a very kinetic game, which kind of leads you through the at-bat. You can see on here in a much more visual way how the game actually works. So you have the pitch quality here, and it tells you a little bit about what the 1 to 20 roll is and the pitch quality. So you don't get a lot of that in the application. The application is really, once you understand the game, then it can speed up your gameplay. But I would suggest that you go through all this just so that you understand what's happening on the back end of the application. If you don't, you're going to miss some of the subtlety, and you'll be like, oh, well, I just punch a button and it spits it out. But it's doing all of these dice rolls and calculations on the back end for you. We didn't run into this here, but there's another D10 here. You need to resolve that as well. I think I have to put that in the app. I don't know if I put that in there. So anyway, you have 1 to 3 on the D10 or D20 is a terrible pitch. Like it's bad stuff, bad command. That's going to lead to a lot more of your walks, which you can see here. So the terrible rating. Terrible with an elite approach at the plate is going to lead to a walk. So it's a bad location. Really good patience from the batter. That's going to lead to a walk. Again, here, if your location is better, then this is kind of a tweener for that. And then it just goes up from there to elite stuff and perfect command, which is your line here. That even if you have, unless you make elite contact, you're going to have kind of a soft line drive or a strikeout. But you only get that on a 19 or a 20. If your pitcher has a plus rating, that helps to push him up toward that rating. So the pluses and minuses sort of move them along this scale. A minus is going to push you more toward throwing terrible pitches, and a plus is going to push you more toward elite stuff. So that's sort of how the player ratings work on that. Very similar to what I've done with play action football. So it kind of has a very similar mechanic. You'll feel that a little bit. Same thing with batting. So poor contact, terrible patience down on this end, and that moves up to perfect contact, elite patience in the elite section, which is mostly going to be it's perfect contact. You're driving the ball. You have good patience. You're swinging at good pitches. So you're going to have your home runs, your home run chance, a hard line drive. So here you get that's where you're going to get auto home runs. And if you are not, you have to roll a 10 in order to get to that place as a batter. So it's like 1 out of 10 chance that you're going to get that straight up home run, but you have some home run chances throughout as well. And then depending on your power, you're going to hit it out of the ballpark, or it's going to be a double, and really the power plus the D20 roll, so execution. So you get a lot of your hard line drives, hard grounders. Hard grounders are going to equal an automatic hit if they are hit to an outfielder. So they get through the infield. Hard grounders to the infielders, that's going to be a tough play for them. But a hard grounder to the outfield is going to be an auto base hit. And then the second roll is down here. So you take your batted ball type that you got from this matrix. So you basically do the pitching here and the batting here. So let's say it's a 19 to a 7. That's going to be a strikeout. Let's say it's a, what would that be? Let's say it's a 7 to a 5. That's going to be a routine fly ball. We look at our routine fly balls. That's all the way here. Roll another D20. and let's say it's a 6. So it's a routine fly ball, basically a pop-up to the shortstop, and it's going to be an error check on the shortstop with a degree of difficulty of 5. So remember, it's a D20 plus the 5 minus the player's error range is going to give you that, is it greater than the target number or not? And then that determines whether the player made the error or not. And you can see here, as you get on to hard fly balls, the error ratings become more difficult because they're higher. The error ratings are higher. So it's going to push that first number up. So you got to have kind of a high range or high error number in order to, if it's a low number, it's going to keep that number high. So it's kind of how that works. And you can see hard line drives are difficult. So that, excuse me, they're the greatest. They're the greatest number in terms of the range. So again, that pushes it up higher. For instance, if you roll a d20 and you have a range of 9, that's a 29. In order to get past the range, you have to, let's say a 29, even if you have a 10, that's going to be a failed range check. So even at the highest range, a 29 is going to fail the range check, and it'll be some sort of hit. So you can see that those are difficult numbers, and then that D20 kind of pushes it up sort of just out of range, even for the best fielders. And then, so that's just a really difficult play. A hard line drive to the outfield is going to be a difficult play to make for a lot of players. Even with really good range, it's going to be falling quickly, and do you get there? So it makes logical sense. You get a bunch of foul balls here. But basically, this is one roll, 2 rolls. I typically roll those together at the same time. I roll 2 D20s and 2 D10s, different colors, and then I just read one color for here, one color for here. That's one roll, and that helps to keep things moving. And then once you get to here, now you need to do another roll for the error or the range check. And then if there's any base runner advancement or anything like that, which is what we have to do here, then that makes another roll. So anywhere between 1 to 4 rolls per at bat, and it's gonna cost you about an hour to play the game only with dice. If you go to extra innings, obviously more than that. But once you get the formulas down, once you memorize these things, because you're doing error checks and range checks in your head, once you memorize those, you get down, okay, if it's a 4 on an error check, it's never going to be an error. You never meet the threshold. So once you do that, you do the check. It's super easy because things begin to move along a lot quicker, and you only kind of get triggered when it's 15 or 16 or 17 or 20. And then you need to really start looking and seeing if that fielder made the play. So just a little bit of FYI there. Don't be scared away by everything. It's a ton of moving parts. It all makes sense because you can make a good pitch. But the batter puts a good swing, and so you can still wind up with a line drive because that's just how baseball works. You can make a terrible pitch, and if the guy has excellent patience, then it leads to a walk. If he doesn't, it could still, if he's not very patient or he makes poor contact on a bad pitch, bad location, then it can still lead to a soft grounder, and it can still be a win for the pitcher. So I wanted to have something that was a more interactive sort of pitcher-hitter experience that was more realistic than just, okay, this guy wins or that guy wins, and then it's off of his card, or even this guy modifies this one, which is like the AIG baseballs. Here, it's a lot more muddied and mixed because that's just how it is whenever you're playing baseball. It's a little bit muddied and mixed. And then, those player ratings should drive players towards certain performance. So a low rating is going to drive a pitcher to more of these chances down here. A high rating should drive a pitcher to have a better game, throw better pitches, better quality of pitches. And then the mid-level guys just kind of are, this is sort of a league average, right, for these different types of pitches. So these are all spaced out to regular, what would be a normal situation, who might normally be able to get to a ball. You can see these are the tweener 10 to 14. These are sort of your tweener areas, so you have a lot of opportunity for different fielders to field the ball. But to 14 down the line, a much better chance that the right fielder is going to come in than the first baseman is going to go out. But there's always a chance that the first baseman could go out. So here, 14 on a pop-up could be the right fielder, the first baseman, the second baseman. So I tried to figure out those percentages and kind of what would be a real feel for a baseball game. Typically, your second baseman, if he can get to one of those little pop-ups, is going to get there before the first baseman. Just a better fielder. He doesn't have to go over his, like, looking toward the outfield wall and making a basket catch. Like a first baseman might have to do that. So tried to really think about real baseball and real baseball feel in this one. And so that's where a lot of this comes from. If you have any questions or comments about this game that I played or about the game itself, please leave them down in the comments section below. If you stayed for the last hour and 40 minutes, then good on you, because this has been a lot of explanation about the game. The game is in a good and stable place. I think if I released it right now, you'd be able to play it and be able to play it well. I just want to make sure everything is taken care of for that. I didn't really use any of the strategies, but you could. We have sacrifice bunts for hit, and hit and run. Gives you a little thing, soft grounder, batted ball type for range checks, because the bunt for hit is a soft grounder, but it's got a lot of different things here. It includes the range targets and stuff like that. You have to meet those range targets, and if you do, then it's out, and if not, you're safe. Same for the hit and run. So it uses some different things for the hit and run, including it gets the base runner into the action as well. So those are just not common strategies for these days. All right. If you haven't subscribed, click on subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way to support what I'm doing. Another way is to go to clarkandaddisongaming.com. Pick up a season or 2 or 10. And I've got several games that are out there for publication. On-Base Baseball is sort of the classic first game that I made. It's a bit of a marriage of Strat and APBA. And then I'm blanking on the name. So I have a football game called Play Action Football. And I have another great baseball game that is called something. Payoff pitches. I don't make payoff pitch. But another very highly detailed baseball game that I don't know why I'm blanking on. Maybe I need some more coffee. And then Up-Tempo Basketball is a great basketball game that I have that kind of straddles the line between full play and not full play. I've got several. If you look in the free section, you can see several betas out there as well. AIG Soccer is one. AIG Baseball is another. You can play a baseball game that utilizes the 1979 season. It's super fun to play. Kind of an old throwback to Status Pro type game. And AIG Basketball is another full play basketball game that I have that has seasons from 1970 to today. So I'll be continuing to release more of those season sets, but right now you can get some seasons. Modern day, also into the 70s. I've been releasing into the 80s, so I'll be releasing more and more of those seasons. If you have any set season you'd like to see for AIG Basketball, I can release those as people desire. And haven't seen a lot of traction on AIG Basketball yet, but if you want to learn more about it, I've got lots of videos here. I think there's even a playlist for AIG Basketball, so you can see how that game plays. It's play-by-play, comes with every player carded, and has kind of a fun, easy to play, easy to memorize type of game system that gets you through the game pretty quickly. All right. Yeah, I think that's it from here. I appreciate everyone who has stuck around so far. If you like the game, give it a thumbs up. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more, just leave comments down in the comments section, or you can email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. And happy to have a discussion or if you see something awry with the game or something that might make it even better, you can let me know, because this game is definitely still in development. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.